Hello, everyone. My name is Bobby Perry. This is the 20th episode of BPerryFilms podcast. We'll be talking about content creation. The platform that we'll be talking about today is YouTube. Most importantly, how to grow organically and what does that look like for new creators. Many YouTubers have created videos on how to grow on YouTube, but they do not tell you about the process of how that works. Today's guest is Collin Micheal. He is a YouTuber that has grown over 100,000 subscribers and also just launched his course called Small Creator Academy. His mission is to help new and current creators grow on YouTube by using strategies that work and are applicable for all types of channels. In this video, we'll be sharing our tips and tricks on how we have navigated and grown our audience in a real life perspective. So Collin, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Collin Micheal. So I help new creators film, edit, and grow their YouTube channels. Been doing YouTube since 2014 is when I actually started, but didn't actually start taking it seriously and started a few different channels. Took it seriously in April of 2020. And then since then have just kind of taken off and have been grew it to 100,000 in 2 years and just want to teach other people how to do similarly on their channels and be able to earn a side income as well is also very important. So that way, you can, whether it's a hobby or you're doing it for an actual building of a business, you have, money to use towards that and could be financially stable.
Definitely. And I was checking out your channel over the past couple of days and I'm like, this guy is really intense and not all the videos are going viral, but it shows like a real perspective of some videos people are really looking for answers for, and some videos are like, maybe I haven't looked at this lens and maybe I should apply these skills whether you're using a smartphone or a camera, and you make everything feel like normal and not high production.
Yeah, I feel like probably the most important thing is like the content that is being said and the information, but not so much the gear you have or the equipment. So I do aim my channel a lot more towards like smartphone creators, just because everyone has a smartphone in their pocket that they can take out, start shooting video, recording, and be able to, take action on a business or a dream or a hobby, using video.
Definitely. So let's talk about what is the process of getting started before you even launch your site. What is going through your head?
So I think the first most important thing you would want to figure out is your niche and who you're really trying to make content for. I think a lot of people get started and they just kind of start uploading content on different interests and passions they have. And it's okay to have different interests and passions. It's just you're really only going to be able to build a loyal following if you're making content for a specific niche. Because even though we as humans are multi-passionate, our viewers might not have all those same passions. So when you keep it to one audience, one group of people, and kind of learning who those people are, what problems they have, what their end goal is, whether their problems is, I just want to get a laugh, or if their problem is, I want to grow a business, or I want to learn gardening, or I want to learn a beauty, figuring out who those people are, I think is the first place you have to start. Otherwise, you can't aim at a target unless you have the target first. So you need I think the first thing you got to nail down is that niche.
And I would also suggest knowing who you are first. Like what are your interests? What are things that you don't like? Since you're doing everything yourself, initially starting out, you have to figure out what is the demand that's going to require you to stay focused and be consistent, along with providing value. Are you focused on entertainment? Are you focused on providing information? Or you can combine both? You got to figure out who you are first before you can reach out to anyone else. Because when people ask you, what is your niche? And you're like, they're kind of asking you, what is your name and what is your purpose? If you don't know what your purpose is, you're kind of lost. And your videos will come off that way. Like it can go from a vlog to a day in the life, a how-to, a reaction, and everyone's just like, this person's all over the place. I'm not finding any videos that are similar to what I just watched.
Absolutely. Like I think even with the way I kind of even started, like originally my channel was called Mobile Camera Guide, and it stemmed from the belief that you don't need expensive gear in order to just like start making videos. Cause I got to a point where I had all this expensive gear to where I didn't even go out and actually create content. It was just too, tiring to carry all these lenses and gear and all these different things. So it was kind of a step back to, I just want to take what's in my pocket and create something and enjoy myself versus have to deal with all these fancy lenses and stuff and just get back to the basics. So, that passion and that purpose definitely drove my channel in the early days in determining, what type of content I'm making and, the route I'm actually going.
Definitely. How do you go about picking out your niche?
So it can be, normally you want it to be something you love and are passionate about over something that might have like more money in it or might be more lucrative, just because you're not going to be doing this like for 1 year only or 2 years. Like, this is a long game. You'll probably be doing YouTube for 5 to 10 years potentially, because it takes a while to actually build that following. There's so many skills you have to learn that it is going to take a while to actually grow to, and once you're at that level, if you hate what you do, what's the point of having a YouTube career or YouTube business if it's the exact same thing as your regular 9 to 5 where you hate what you do? There's no, you're not going to win there. You're just going from one 9 to 5 to one 5 to 9 where you're just working all these hours doing something you don't like. So it doesn't have to be your number one passion, I don't think, but definitely look at the things that interest you, that you're curious in. I think things you can talk about nonstop are good areas to create content in, because if you can't stop talking about it, talking to people, finding other people with that same similar interest on YouTube will, congregate with you and love to nonstop talk about that too. So that's what I'd probably focus on is, making sure it doesn't have to be your top passion, but, just keep in mind, you're going to be doing this for a while. So you think you could really still be talking about that topic in 5 years? Or is it something that's going to become, tedious?
Yeah, definitely. And people need to decide. I know on Clubhouse where we met, they had a conversation talking about, is this going to be a business or a hobby? And usually when people have it for a hobby, they're not taking it as seriously and they're not thinking about different avenues that it can bring to you. While for a business, you're thinking about, how do I market my products? How do I build my audience? How do I find comfort within myself? Like me personally, right before I started this YouTube channel, I thought I want to bring back story into film. People are too focused on the B-rolls and all the graphic effects and all that, and you forget what the story is really about because people are overcompensating. Not saying that it's not great or anything, but when you lose your audience and with that connection that they had with you in the first minute, and it goes on little tangents and people are like, I don't know what they're going with this, but I'm going to click to something else. And then YouTube suggests similar videos and just goes on like that because YouTube is trying to figure out what are the videos that you're most interested in. And as you go through the feed, you'll see a list of people that you have subscribed, some new channels, some channels that went viral. Like I said, YouTube is trying to learn who you are and where your audience is through AI, artificial intelligence. So it's like a little bit of a learning curve. But if you're not willing to put in the work, your channel's going to die out really fast.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the Thomas Edison quote, and I often refer back to it, where it's like, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Your idea for a YouTube channel is that 1% inspiration. It's a great idea. Lots of people have great ideas. But if you can't execute, that's the one thing that's going to prevent you from actually getting to that level of genius where you're that next level creator. Because yeah, it takes a lot of work. It's not just, clicking record and talking and then stopping. Like, there's a lot of components that go into making a successful YouTube channel, let alone a successful business. So if you hate work, this is probably not the choice for you.
Yeah, and as we go throughout the video, we're going to be breaking down the requirements of starting, how is it like from how it feels initially to like what it looks like months later, whether or not you're growing fast or going at a steady pace. But like I said in the beginning, we're focused on how you grow organically, not buying the followers, not converting people from other sites, but really getting your audience from your hard work and you putting an effort to be better and implement change in people's lives, because you want to have that type of experience. You want to be empathetic with people and not sympathetic in some type of lens. So next we're going to go into what is some of the equipment that you need before you start the YouTube channel.
So I would think the main thing is if you've got a recent phone, like let's say like iPhone 8 or newer, you are set and ready to go to start recording. I would think my YouTube channel, I'd say about 90% of my YouTube channel was shot on the lowest cost iPhone, the iPhone SE. So I had the original iPhone SE, and then I upgraded to the newer iPhone SE. Both were $400 iPhones, very affordable, $10 a month from your carrier or less if they've got a special promotion going on. And that'll shoot good enough video and decent enough audio to where you can start recording and start making videos. And I grew to 100,000 subscribers, 90% on just using a smartphone. If you do want to spend more money than that, I think the two areas you definitely want to get into is audio, because like 50% of video, I would say, is audio, especially when it comes to giving information on YouTube. That's not good audio. It's going to get people to not click on your videos. So that'd probably be the first investment I would do. And then the second one would be lighting, because I think for most of video and film, like cameras themselves are just things that capture light. And if you can nail your lighting and do a good job with that, you can make any camera look like cinematic and professional just because you have really good lighting going for you. So I probably do microphone first, because you can always use natural light from a window and use that to light your videos. But then the next step, I think, is buy some lights. So that way you can have at least for time's sake too, just like with how I have my setup going on here, I just have all my lights set up. I have my microphone above me, and I can just turn on my camera and start recording. It doesn't require a lot of work. Helps, save you time. So that'd be my thoughts.
Definitely. I will go back to the video part. I do recommend people to have a camera that has at least 8 megapixels. Visuals are very, I know all phones are not the same when it comes to megapixels, but you don't always have to get an iPhone. There's people that have Androids. There's plenty of different Sony phones and all types of pixels. You want to be in your budget, but be cautious the lower that you go in, and don't make that initial investment, the more that people are going to tune off. But if you do like a little bit of investment, I'm not saying that you need to get like a mirrorless camera or a DSLR camera or anything like that. But initially, start out with something that has pretty good resolution. Like I use an iPad for my podcasts. And I know for like some of my vlogs, I have used my iPhone because it's easy to carry around. And I have heard from other people, when you're carrying around those fancy cameras, people try to hop in your video and you kind of have to shoot all over again because people are just like, hey, want to be featured and stuff like that. And I know that's awkward. But I know for my website, I use a Sony camera, a digital camera. And I was really focused on providing high quality value, because you can't treat a website the same that you do with a blog, I believe, because it's, like I said, first impression. Definitely lighting. I know when I first started, I didn't have a ring light, and people are like, we need to see you a little bit more. You're blending into the wall, or we just can't see you. And I know for people of color, we need certain lighting to show our faces a little bit better compared to people that are lighter skinned. And audio is definitely important, because people are focused on hearing you and focus on what is this content about. It's not just about the title and making things clickbait, but like I said, people want to hear you, hear your voice, see if they like listening to you, listening to what you're talking about and stuff like that, so they can continue to watch your videos and maybe hit the subscribe button after 2 or 3 videos of watching. And you'll be surprised how many people binge watch.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So what are some steps as to how you start your YouTube channel? from the very beginning?
So probably from the beginning. I mean, we already talked about like gear and figuring out that, really what your passion is. What I would probably do is, thinking about channel name and channel banner, I think are probably important. Something channel name wise is this would be really thinking long term is, do you want to build a personal brand or an actual brand in and of itself? So for some channels, like for example, we can talk about like Think Media, where eventually you could potentially hire a team and they're recording content for your YouTube channel, and you might not even need to be in the videos anymore, to where you're just running the business. You have someone who's creating content and now running that side of it. Whereas if you do a personal brand, like for me, my channel's Collin Micheal. I'm the only Collin Micheal who can really be on the channel. I can't outsource and really scale a channel and turn it into a bigger business. I know that's really deep for someone starting a new channel, but it is something to think about. If you are just doing it as a hobby, just do your name. If you want to really build a business, it might be a good idea to pick something like a topic, the topic that your channel is about, and build it off of that, because then you could, eventually get to a point where you have a team behind you. And then like for your channel. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would like to know that when you're thinking of a name, when you're doing your business, just keep in mind, anytime when people comment, it goes right to your Gmail account. And we also into mission to start a YouTube channel, you have to sign up for Gmail, and you also need editing software as well to edit your videos. And don't outsource right away. Learn how to do everything yourself. And then when you're choosing that name for your company or business or your personal brand, you got to remember, these are how people are going to find you. Don't change it out of nowhere, because people are going to forget who you are. But like I said, like he said, really take the time to think, what is this really about? Because when you think about Marcus Brownlee, he's one of a kind. You've seen him develop and change his niche over time. He's still technology based, but you have noticed that he has started a podcast. He has started a clothing line. He has started other streams of who he is. And that's a personal brand that he made into a business. So that's a great example right there as well.
Yeah. But once you do have that like name down, one other thing that might be worth doing right away is your channel banner. So usually your channel banner, you want to have and you'll probably figure this out with your passion too, but figure out your value proposition that you're offering with your YouTube channel and try and put that in your channel banner in some way, shape, or form. So that way, when people do watch one of your videos and then go and visit your channel, they'll see right at the top, this is what this channel is about. This is how it can add value to me. It can actually cause people to subscribe. Looking at my YouTube analytics, I've actually gotten 6,000 people to subscribe from my channel page. So when someone goes and visits my channel, they see my value banner right there, and then they click subscribe right on that page. So it can be very effective for getting those first initial subscribers, to let people know that, yes, this is what this channel is about. This is how I can add value to you. And also, if you are going to be consistent and upload content weekly, you can even put up in that channel banner, like, videos get posted every Monday, new videos every Monday, new videos every Friday. So that way people know that when it's Friday, to come back to your channel to, consume more of your content.
Definitely. And if you're not creative, you're on your own, you can outsource to a website that I use called Fiverr. They have people range from maybe like $5 to a few hundred, but keep in mind, you get what you pay for. I know what my designer, I paid maybe $50, $60, and he got on the first try. Like I said, I was like very detailed on how I wanted to look. I wanted to look like a camera, a camcorder, and film meshed together. And I wanted to show that this is not just about me producing content, but this is about my audience building content around the sources that I'm giving them. Whether it's podcasting, filmmaking, business branding and marketing and stuff. And I built my channel based on education. It's like we have all these people with high profiles, whether they're 6 months into their business or a couple of years into it. They're giving you value, whether it's on finance, whether it's on mental health, performing arts, something that is entertaining for the audience to watch, and also something that's going to leave them with something to take away with. Maybe you're into music and want to get into music production. Maybe you should listen to the Artistry of Music podcast episode where we break down, are you trying to be an artist or are you trying to be an entertainer? Because each one has a different avenue that you're going to go. And sometimes people are like, I want to be an artist, but I don't know how to get there. I want to make sure that every note, every sound, and everything has a purpose and has a message that's clear. And when you're listening to music, it brings you some type of emotion, kind of like your banner. It's like when they're looking at your page for the first time as you're making that bio, first impressions, like you said, matters. And when you're putting that, you're going to make that commitment of posting every single Monday. They're going to hold you to that. Once you post on a Tuesday, they're going to be like, oh, something's wrong right here. They told me Monday. So you're keeping yourself accountable. So decide if you're going to post every week, every day, every other week, once a month. You're in control of your channel. This is you. But the more consistent that you are, the more consistent that your audience will be coming back to your channel. And they're going to hit that notification bell so they can get alert about when your next video is posting.
Absolutely.
What about the About You page? When you're making that profile and you're writing down your description, how should people outline it?
So you mean like for like the About section on someone's YouTube channel?
Yeah, some people don't look at it, but I know a lot of businesses or people that are looking to subscribe want to hear that elevator pitch of what your channel is about. So what type of things that they would include in that short paragraph or two?
So what I think definitely in the first sentence, you want to have whatever your value proposition is. When people look up your channel in the search bar, that is shown. But the other side of it too is when you do get bigger and potentially end up working with other companies, like getting brand deals or things like that, their software actually pulls your About section up. They actually have their own software where they can pull up creators, YouTube channels, look at their stats and stuff like that. And that pulls up the About section. So don't make it something like silly just because you think it's an About section and just to, play it off. It does play an important role. I definitely, share what your channel's about, maybe share your story so you can connect with your viewer a bit if they want to learn more about you. But also use it as a spot to get people to other areas, whether that's like an email list or your website, or even like linking to other social media handles. You can do that in that About section.
Definitely. And also utilize free applications such as, we'll say, Google Docs. You want to make sure that your spelling's to par. You want to make sure your grammar is correct and have someone look it over. I spent maybe 48 hours working on the bio right before I really push out my website, my YouTube channel. And I'm going to revise it again, of course, because my views of things are a little bit different a year now. And you, in that summary, you want to be clear on what you're going to provide. You want to be clear on who you are. Like I said, identifying that niche. And like I said, this is one of the most important parts of building up your channel, is to make it or break it section, I would say, because you can always change the banner word. How about the avatar?
Yeah, so depending, you can have it as a picture of yourself. Probably professional is what you would want to go for. But also depending on what kind of brand you're building, it might be helpful to put something in that profile picture related or avatar to your channel. When I was starting out and I was very centered on just like mobile filmmaking and editing, back when I was mobile camera guide, I actually had a picture of a phone as my profile like avatar. So when people came to the channel, they could see that I was like an authority, that I was that this channel is actually dedicated to this topic, which I'm sure helps with people realizing that, this channel is all about it and subscribing. So you can go either route. I do think, though, if you do put some branding in there, it can help people, realize that, yeah, this is a niche channel. This isn't just someone uploading content, that this is someone who will be able to give me constant value if I follow them.
Definitely. And also utilize an app called Canva. There's different tiers to it. I use the free version, but on the website, you can open up another tab if you're watching this, but type in canva.com. You can type in website banner, YouTube banner, art tech, channel art. It'll have like the different aspect ratios. So it fits the format, because when you're looking at all these things on either your phone, a tablet, or on your television, everything's going to look completely different. They might see a little bit more of your banner. So making sure that it fills up that space. And if people are watching mobile or something else, make sure that it's seeable. It's got to be, it's a lot of avenue. It's a lot of work. I'll just say that.
Definitely, but definitely worth investing the time into, because yeah, first impressions are important.
First impressions are everything. I do agree with you on that. So next we'll look into the monetization side. How do you get monetized on YouTube?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways. The way that most people refer to with YouTube monetization would be like the YouTube Partner Program. So in order to get into that, as of today, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers for your channel and 4,000 hours of watch time, which seems kind of steep and seems like a lot. But if you're not even at that aspect yet, you're probably only going to be making, even if they monetize your channel without that limit, you'd only be making like 25 cents or 50 cents. And it's not even very much worth it at that point. So that's why they kind of have that standard up there, just so that way, they're only paying out if you're actually making money, and probably less for them to work with. So that's the main way people talk about, but I think you can monetize your channel even before that. There's many different avenues that I'm sure we could get into with, building a business around your YouTube channel, which I think is important, because as I started my channel and started making money, I was just focused on that Google AdSense, YouTube ad kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it is nice. I'm a channel that had, averages between 500,000 views and 600,000 views every single month. I have a lot of videos that rank, and I usually make like $1,500 to $2,000 a month just with those views, which is nice. But it's also up and down. It's not stable. It's not consistent. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. So it's not very reliable. And then it also requires you to be getting that amount of views every single month, which, your channel might go up, might go down. People might lose interest in a certain topic and you'll lose a bunch of views. So what's better is building a business around your YouTube channel, which you can do right out the gate with things like, offering, depending on your expertise, being able to offer coaching, being able to go the affiliate marketing route and promote like other people's products with like a specific link in the description where you can sell stuff. I know someone who is making thousands of dollars before they were even monetized by YouTube. And that was because, and they were under 1,000 subscribers, and they were making that kind of money just working with, just doing, talking about products and adding value to people in their videos. And then having links in the description where if people buy, they get a small commission from it. You're just kind of like a YouTube salesperson adding value to people.
I would like to note that what the monetization part about the AdSense, you have to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within the last 365 days. So no, it doesn't automatically reset. So I just want to clear up that rumor. I did ask an expert and they said no. So say if you first started with 10 subscribers in the beginning when you first launched, and then you're already a year ahead, it just cross off those 10 and just focuses on the next day, the 366 day back, 365 days. And I like how you said that there's other avenues that people who have small channels can go. I do recommend affiliate marketing, and you will notice at the top of your screen on some channels, they'll have something saying sponsored videos, promotion videos. They have to disclose that, and they have to let people know in advance that they will get a small commission for your service of using their affiliate link to buy a product. And no, it's no additional cost to you. You still get it for that discount or whatever the price is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target, whatever affiliate link that they're using.
And the nice part about it too is when you think about the way like YouTube AdSense works is like, you know, people bid on ads. So let's say they're trying to really target your audience. And let's say they want to spend $5 for 1,000 views on their ad. Then YouTube will take, if I'm not mistaken, 40%, and then they'll give you 60%. So out of that $5, you get, you know, like $2.50, $3 of that, you know, for 1,000 views. If instead of going that route, which that's not that really great for 1,000 ads, if instead you go, let's say the affiliate marketing route, and for 1,000 views, let's say you convert 1%, which would be like 10 people to purchase a product from you. You know, that commission could be $5, $10, potentially $20, depending how expensive of a product that is and how big of commission you get. If you get 10 people to purchase a product and you get $5 paid, you just made $50 off 1,000 views versus the YouTube AdSense route where you're only getting paid $3 for 1,000 views. And then if you go even further within getting coaching or courses or different things like that, even if you're just getting 1% of your viewers to go over and sign up or do those different things, you can build a really profitable channel, even if you're not like this million views channel. Just one more example I could share. There's an insurance agent who makes videos about like the different insurance plans out there. He only has like 2,000, maybe 3,000 subscribers, and is pulling in like 2 million a year because he talks about insurance, and then those people convert and go buy from him. And he's just working his regular job as, a sales, insurance agent. And he's using YouTube to send people over to his place of business. It's obviously working really great for him. So he's not a YouTube celebrity, but that's fine for him. He's making like 2 million a year because he's using YouTube around his business. So, don't get caught up in the AdSense. Just, you can build an income source, right now if you want to.
So I do have a question for you. Can people collect AdSense along with doing affiliate marketing? Or do you have to pick one or the other?
You can do both. So YouTube ads will continue to run as is, but even if you do like brand sponsorships or affiliate marketing, you can have both going at the same time.
Okay. So let's go into brand sponsorships. How do you get those?
So if you're just starting out, the easiest route would be just to start reaching out to companies. And instead of waiting for them to reach out to you. So the audience you're building. And if you can, there's probably like two different types of brand deals you can do. Sometimes companies just want good, genuine content that they can post on their social media or that can just rank organically on YouTube, where they don't even care if you have 0 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. They're just after good content, either for their YouTube channel or for your YouTube channel that just kind of sits on there so people can find them, or that they can share on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. So you could technically, if you know about a topic, you know about a subject, and you can demonstrate that, maybe make a video showing, hey, I know what I'm talking about. You could go to that company, find someone in there, depending on the size, if someone in marketing or influencer marketing, something like that, and be like, hey, I want to make marketing videos for you. Here's an idea I have. I'll make this video. I'll talk about this. What do you think? And you can start pitching people just right out the gate. As long as you got some like portfolio, something you can demonstrate that you can make good content, you could do that right away.
Yes.
But as you Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say definitely cross promote, and brands are looking at the numbers. Sometimes they're focused on the views, but sometimes they're focused on how many people it's gonna reach. So just to put a perspective, there are 2 billion people that are on YouTube that have a Google account. So, like I said, you're just starting out. Don't get discouraged. Many of these creators have started from. Everybody has started from zero. Where they navigate in the future just depends on their hard work and effort. Are you focused on being viral, or are you focused on long-term investment? Because if you're just going to go viral, brands aren't going to be appealed to you, because they're going to just be like, they made that one video, but is it going to accelerate the same way that that one video went? And it allows them to judge you of saying, is this worth the investment? Are they able to execute at that level? Am I going to invest more money into this? Like I said, you have to be in that business mindset. This is what I have to, you have to know who you are, where you're going to be able to value, who your audience is. Like I told people in my last video on my first year of running this company, I'll link it in the description as well. But you have to understand what is your persona and how you're going to engage with this person that you're trying to get to hire you for the service. You don't want people investing a lot of money into you and you can't execute, because you might not get paid. Some brands don't pay you in advance, they might pay you after. So making sure that you understand how to read contracts or ask for help on reading a contract. Because if they say that we need 5 videos within the month and you're just posting every other week, things aren't going to get done and you're not going to get that money. They ask for 5 videos. In that contract, it'll say on what platforms that you need to be on: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. There's other platforms, Clubhouse or Twitch or any other platform. But like I said, read those contracts, read the fine print. If you're not able to execute these things at that present moment, negotiate. See if they can allow you to do 3 videos, if that's manageable for you, or just post that one video and say, I'll do this for free, or I'll do this for a discount rate, to see how this performs and see if you can build trust with me. And then hopefully we can be business partners in the future.
And a little bonus tip I can throw out too, which is something I've learned more recently that I'm trying to implement on my channel. If you can show proof that you can sell product, you can raise your rates crazy. So for example, if you are doing the affiliate links, a lot of those programs allow you to track, depending, you can have, trackable links to see how many people click on those links. And then you can also track how often people purchase product from you. So if you can show a company, when I recommend to my small audience, I sell $200, 200 products, 200 of these items every single time I recommend something to someone, which equates to, let's say $10,000 worth of profit. You can be like, okay, I know how much I can sell. I know how much that's worth. If a company pays me $5,000 and in turn I make them $10,000, it's an easy win for them. And I can charge like a super high rate like that. So if you can, in the beginning, start paying attention to those things, start writing them down and being able to, even if you're not ready to go this whole brand deal route yet, because, contracts are scary, you want to make sure you read those. I'm not a professional. Don't trust me as professional advice. I'm just a YouTube guy. So consult someone first, lawyer, professional. But, it can be a lot to manage, but, it'd be a good way to start. Just pay attention to your affiliate links and how much you're selling of those things. And then you'll be able to better, negotiate a higher rate, because you can show that, yeah, I know my audience. I'm building an audience of people who are all interested in a topic. And when I say this is good, they buy. So you can better negotiate that way.
And even with me and you, we both have products that we're pushing out. For me, it's business coaching. I feel like a lot of people don't spend a lot of money or invest in education. So I thought an extension to my podcast, working with all these content creators, performing artists, and small businesses, I think it's important for me for people who are looking to start their business or having trouble scaling their business in different areas, whether it's marketing, financing, understanding the audience, understanding personas, the core factors that build up your business plan. And I always tell people write down your ideas. And when you're taking a coaching session with me, I need to understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where are areas that you feel like you're not confident in, so we can slowly improve those and giving people resources to help them become more confident and build up their audience. So email lists is another way that you can build like and trust, because people are getting exclusive content from you. They might get discounts on things. They might be the first ones to know about things. Like I said, selling your own products is a great way of marketing yourself, because when you're reaching out to brands, you can say, I built this product, I have a service, this is what I have to offer, and this is how my sales went. These are the abandonment, these are some of the abandoned carts. Maybe you could email those people to see what's the holdup. Maybe it's been a couple of hours. Like, do you need help with this, such and such? Let me understand where you are right before you make that investment. People want, I think people are too focused on getting free content rather than getting the exclusive content that can push them to the next level. And not everybody that has huge followings have the best interest for you. Let's put that out there.
for sure. Yeah, I think, you also have to think about like return on investment too. Like, if I put this amount of money in, am I going to get that return or not? And improving your skill set and gaining knowledge. Skills are recession proof, is what I heard someone say more recently. Your skills follow you whether the economy goes up or down. So if you can build that skill set and learn from people who've already successfully done it, you're just bettering yourself, and it's taking you to that next level.
And you'd be surprised some of the things that people have questions with, or people take for granted, like learning basic math. People are quick on hiring a bookkeeper. I'm like, that's maybe a few $100 more per month for just keeping record of your books that aren't even that are probably manageable, but it just seems overwhelming for you because you didn't pay attention in class or whatever, or it feels overwhelming to you. And then reading is important, especially when you're condoning business. Because like I said, don't go by what people are telling you. But if you read the fine print, something that people don't look over, this can make the determined factor of how much you're getting paid, what the value is going to get, and stuff like that. So even when you're clicking on a video, read the descriptions, see what you're going to get out of this, see what are the talking points, what are the pain points, and see at the end, did this give you any more value? Because all YouTube is going to do is just keep on suggesting videos in that niche, but they're probably saying the same thing. Sometimes it could be right, sometimes it could be wrong. So reading articles, reading books, things that have a long term and longevity. Use your resources. Get a business coach. Go back to school or something. No one's judging you.
Library is there too. Library is the source of free business knowledge. Like, I think people don't take advantage of libraries. It's literally, there's probably like over 100 business books all sitting there that if you're in a spot where you can't afford a course, which I was once in a spot where I was living paycheck to paycheck and couldn't even afford health insurance for myself, I just went to the library and I got books for free and started consuming knowledge and gaining skills and learning. So that way I could make money to get to a spot where I could afford, coaching or getting into courses and different things like that, where I could grow my knowledge further. But yeah, take advantage of those free resources if you are in that spot. And then once you do grow and get to a spot, invest in yourself. It's probably the most important thing.
And I always tell people the first step of achieving a goal is writing things down and setting dates for things. I know when I started my channel, I was just like, I don't know how this is going to go. I did a documentary on my grandmother and I was showing the trailer. I'm like, hopefully a few people watch this, and I'm not going to look at my account for 48 hours, because even when you start your channel, you don't get your analytics until a couple of days later. So when I checked back, it said 77 views, and I'm like, my video. It was awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
then I put out my first trailer, telling people what my business entailed. So people know who I am on a personal level, who's the person behind the lens that's creating this content. Building that relationship. I might not have 1,000 subscribers at the moment, but the more that I'm pushing through and reading my analytics will help me elevate to the next level.
Absolutely.
There's some other ways that you can make money off of YouTube, such as the Short Creator Fund. Can you give us some details on that? I know that there's some requirements that are different from AdSense.
Yeah. So at least from when I last checked the short creator fund, I might not be the best person to ask about this, but I think you need to have at least be producing shorts for, if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere like 6 to 9 months of having short content up there to where you'll finally qualify. And then based on views, YouTube will offer you what's called like the shorts bonus, where they basically have a fund set aside that they split apart to short creators just because there's no ads being shown. YouTube's just literally paying people. So if your video is catered to the most views, you can get like a certain bonus amount, usually up to $10,000 would be the max per month. And then that gets distributed out. So it's not a like an AdSense fund. It's literally YouTube is just took a bunch of money from their bank account. It's like, we're going to give this to creators who make shorts. And then YouTube's been, paying that out. But it does require making really good shorts and getting, I'd say like hundreds of thousands of views or potentially millions of views, but very inconsistent, I would think, just because you don't know what bonus you're going to get. It's random. It's not like there's ads playing on your video and, it's kind of all over the place and it's not funded by any advertiser. It's funded by YouTube. So YouTube might pull the plug on the funding, but advertisers are never going to stop advertising. They're going to always want to be making money. And so, but it's definitely something not to ignore. I think there's definitely a opportunity there.
And then there's thresholds that you have to make to receive payment. I know for YouTube, it's usually $100. And for shorts, I'm not sure what the amount is, but I know that just because you were eligible 1 month doesn't guarantee that you're going to get paid the next. It just depends on how your video is performing.
Yeah, it's definitely a new system. So definitely, I would definitely play with shorts, experiment with shorts if you can on your channel, if it's applicable. Definitely don't think of it as like some icing on the cake is what I'd refer to it as. Because ultimately you want to grow your business around YouTube, and that creating shorts could bring people to your channel, get people to subscribe and watch more of your content. So
definitely. And for people, I know for me, I had to ask the question. I'm like, if I try doing these shorts, because I have a cat and I'm like, she's very entertaining. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, these cat videos might make me go viral. Does shorts hurt channels that have long form content, or does it enhance the experience?
I would say yes and no. There's a very clear answer. I think there's some people who watch people for their short form content and they'll never watch long form. But then I'm also a prime example where I watch someone's short form content, subscribe to them, and then also watch their long form content. So it can work both ways. I think you got to be a little more careful with what shorts you're making, what's getting people to subscribe, because you don't want to bring the wrong audience along to your channel and then they're not watching and then they're just hurting your click-through rate and all that. Mm-hmm. So there's like, for me and my channel, like I sometimes do like video editing effects you can do, and sometimes those fit into a YouTube short and I don't even have to post like a long form content. I'll still do long form things on video editing and filming, which still very much relates to the same people, where it's safe. But I think you can use both safely. I wouldn't get too concerned about it, because what's worse? I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You end up with 1 million subscribers or something. And I think it's a good traffic source, and I would be too scared to use it. But the only downside is if notifications are turned on for those viewers and they're getting notified every time you put out a short and you're putting out a lot of them, that could turn people off and cause them to unsubscribe. So I've seen some people do like one video a week and then one short a week, just so that way there's a balance of content versus someone doing one long form and then like 10 shorts every single week because they're easy to produce. So you do want to be a little bit tactical with it.
And next, we'll go into memberships. I believe you need 500 subscribers now to get memberships on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that is the level you'll need to reach. YouTube does take a 30% cut, which is a little unfortunate. The added benefit being, I'd say this: if you do live streams, have memberships turned on for your channel. Just because people like having the little badge, because you get a badge when you're a member and you comment in the live stream, and people like being recognized, and recognition is important. But if you're just going the membership route and you're not really doing live streams, I'd recommend outsourcing it to something like Buy Me a Coffee or even Patreon. I use Buy Me a Coffee because then like Buy Me a Coffee only takes 5% of the revenue. If you go to YouTube route, YouTube takes 30% and then the government takes about 30%. That leaves you with 40. So you're not even getting like a lot of that membership versus, Buy Me a Coffee taking 5%. I think Patreon takes, I want to say like 10 to 20. I'm not too sure, but when I compared them all, Buy Me a Coffee was the less percentage taken out. And I was like, all right, that's the one I'm going for. Cause you want to make sure that if you are doing memberships and because with that, you're usually giving behind the scenes, there's exclusive content. You want to be putting all that work into exclusive content if you're not getting a good return yourself. So that'd be my thoughts.
Yeah, I have memberships on my actual website, not on YouTube, that people can subscribe to. I would say there's other ways that you can make money from lives and also pre-recorded. There's super things that they have, and that's bonus money that people can make. Some people make $5, a couple $100, and it's neat to see how people invest that much into your work, and it feels close to home where you feel like you have accomplished something and you have provided value with someone. And sometimes you don't know how you have impacted people until, sometimes you just don't know unless you ask. And definitely interact with your followings. So, question for you. Let's talk about email marketing and how you navigate through it.
Yeah, so I would think for like every single YouTube channel, you should have an email list. I'd say almost that like your email list is more important than your subscriber count. Main reason being, and this would be for those trying to build it into a business, is when you post content to YouTube, it might be shown to the people who subscribe to you. It might get recommended, but if you have a direct contact route with your followers, you can market to them when you do release products, but you can also engage with them on a personal level. If you're always showing up, and it's one of the things I regret that I wish I would have started in my early days, to where, if I'm at 100, over 100,000 subscribers now, if I would have had like 10,000 email subscribers, when I release a course or a book or start coaching or, whatever monetization route you go, you have a way of reaching people. And even today, like one email subscriber is the equivalent of an extra $1 per month, which is $12 a year. So if you have, even if you have 2,000 to 5,000 subscribers, which isn't a lot, if that's it in your email list, you can monetize that. You can get sponsorships through your email list. But it's really going to help you build your business and grow your brand, or even using it to let people know you posted a video, and that can drive traffic to your YouTube channel and get people to watch your videos. So even if you utilize free software, like one I can think of is like MailChimp, where they'll let you get up to 1,000 email subscribers before you even have to, for free. And then after that, you have to pay. So it's a great way to start. But then, showing up there, I think is really important, especially if you want to go the business route of it.
I know for me personally, I think email marketing is more effective because right now I'm over here messaging people, posting on Facebook, Instagram, everything. And I'm like, this is taking too long to hit so many people. I think I spent maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours on marketing my channel and other services that I have. And I feel like with the email list, I can hit multiple people all at once. And I feel like the way that I email people, it feels more personal. It's really thought out. And you need to figure out what is going to be your workflow of posting. If you post 2-3 times a week, it can be overwhelming for people, especially with an email list. And it could make people unsubscribe. So maybe once a week will be fine. Every other week would be fine. Making sure that you check in with people, let people know about what promotions are going on. What is your thought process going today? Saying like you're going through imposter syndrome. You don't know where to start. I feel burnout. Stuff like that. You want to make the emails feel personal and very relatable, not just pushing out a product.
Right. I think building, because even if you're at a spot where you don't have a product yet or anything, if you can build a connection with people in your email list, when you get to that point where you do end up creating your own product and selling it, you're going to have, you've already built that connection and people know you. And what you're really after is getting people to like you and trust you. And when they like and trust you and you start to sell a product, the easiest, that's like the number one reason why people buy is because they like someone and they trust them. And so when you do offer something that's going to benefit them, they're going to, it's easy for them to commit because, they have, full trust in you.
Mm-hmm. And also just keep in mind, websites will charge you based off of how many people are subscribed to your email list and also how many email campaigns are you pushing out. So keep that in mind on the frequency of posting.
Something else you can also do, just to throw out there, I'm right now using a service called Kajabi, where there are different tiers. It's more of like a bundle of being able to build a website, coaching, courses, all of that on one platform. But they'll allow you to have, you'll be able to send out as many emails as you want, depending on how many subscribers you do have. So maybe what you could also do is like if you do MailChimp for the first 1,000, a lot of those places will let you take your email list to other services if you need to. Yeah. And then you can move it over to somewhere if it's a little more, affordable. Cause I've seen some of those where just having an email list on like, could be like hundreds of dollars, just to send out emails all the time, which, where you could potentially be paying less. So.
And also I would like to mention have 2 different email list providers. Google Docs allows you to do it for free. It makes an Excel sheet where it has like the list of all the people that subscribed and didn't unsubscribed. So like say if someone unsubscribed, just take them off. It's just easier just in case if one platform crashes. And you know how Facebook one time, I think it was Facebook and Instagram had closed down for maybe a couple of hours and people went panicking because they were like, how can I market my business? I'm trying to push out this and that. And I can't access any of my files. I can't send anything to my audience. What's going to happen? It's costing me money. But if you have that second box,
Exactly.
Next, we're going to talk about how to apply all these lessons that we talked about in real life. So let's talk about how you started on YouTube from day one. How did that feel for you? Posting your first video to you now, 100,000 plus subscribers now.
Yeah, posting the first video, if I go back, it was not it. It was horrible quality. Sometimes I was like filming in my parents' basement and it was like a concrete basement, so it looked scary actually. I don't know what I was doing. Like it was, I didn't think about those lot of things, but it's hard talking to a camera and getting used to that and not saying ums all the time. And I think the most important thing is getting consistent with it if you do want to grow it. Because as you put out more content, you can learn from your mistakes and what you got right, what you got wrong, and watching your analytics and seeing how that goes. And it's a process. Like, I don't think I was making decent. And what should happen too is you'll get to a point where if you look at your videos from 6 months ago, a year ago, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to delete this. This looks so bad. Because that means it's a good sign that you're improving. Like if I look at my videos from like 6 to 9 months ago. I'm like, Collin, what were you doing? Look at your setup. Look how you designed that thumbnail. What were you thinking? And it's that constant improvement of like, what's like one thing I can change today to make my videos better, or edit my videos better, or make the thumbnail or title more enticing. And as you get 1% better every single day, or change one thing in every single video, you'll eventually get to a point where you're going to have a great thumbnail. You're going to choose a great topic that your audience cares about, a great title. You'll know how to edit videos and keep people engaged. But yeah, it starts very rough and it's expected. You're going to end up putting a lot of videos out that aren't going to be that great. But you have to keep going with it. And it'll be scary, and you won't be as confident on camera when you start out. But it's something you just have to push through, and that's what I did. I just kept pushing through and putting out more content.
And you'd be surprised how many people watch people's first videos. I think that's its own niche. Like, welcome to my channel. This is who I am. This is what I can bring. This is my personality. I'm quiet, bubbly, all types of things. I'm going to be posting such and such amount of times a week. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit me down in the comments, suggest some ideas of what videos to produce that you're interested in. You know, it's a lot of things going on in that first episode. And this is your opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone. Like I had mentioned, if you're going to be any type of creator, you got to be willing to sit in front of that camera. You got to be hard on yourself, but at the same time, be kind, because it's your first video. But that first video is the milestone, the foundation of who you're going to be in the next couple months, few years, if you think about doing this long term. And make sure that when you post these videos, you're being authentic to yourself. And I think people don't know what authentic means. Some people think this person is very nice, but authentic is people who show different emotions. If you watch through my video catalog, you have some people crying, some people laughing, some people learning something new, and we're all interacting with different perspectives. In the way that I designed it, my podcast and my YouTube channel is that it's conversation based. I don't want it to feel like a lecture. I want people to feel like we're talking to them personally, you know, making them feel like they're part of the room instead of saying, this is what you have to do and pointing fingers at them like directly. No, I'm not telling you these are just some suggestions and this is what we researched. Reading books, articles, .gov, .org, edu, using reliable sources. Not everything that you hear in the media is true, just like rumors aren't true. But it's what you do with that information will excel you to go further in your career on any platform, not just YouTube. Next, we'll talk about the thumbnails and the titles. I know a lot of people do clickbaity titles and thumbnails, and then when you watch the video, it doesn't correlate. So how do you make an interesting thumbnail and title that appeals to your audience?
So I think the starting part is the audience. I like to say the more you know your audience, the more your channel will grow. Because and I think it starts with creating an audience persona or a customer persona, as it's often referred to in business. We're really getting detailed into who is the person I am trying to create content for? What is their end goal? What problems are they facing? What makes them happy? What ticks them off? You know, getting very, very specific on who our viewer is, how old they are, what's their income, what are they already watching on YouTube? What channels, what other competitors are they watching right now? And what are they saying in the comments? What are they saying in Facebook groups? You know, the more you can understand this person, you can better create titles and thumbnails that'll appeal to them. Because then you know, okay, I know that my audience is having this pain point, and I can go to YouTube and see that, you know, as I'm typing out that problem, it instantly pops up in the auto suggester. So they're searching for answers to this problem, and you can be that video that appeals to it. So I think that is probably most important with a title, is speaking to that viewer and talking about their pain points, what they're trying to achieve. because that's what interests them. That's what stands out. And then you can do similarly with the thumbnail is, showing like, if you watch this video, it's going to solve this pain point. It's going to add this value to you. So I think start there first, find out what they're, I think finding content that people are looking for already, there's already traffic there. Instead of trying to, create your own traffic, channel the traffic that's already on YouTube, trying to solve this problem in your niche to your video. And that's what I kind of did with my channel. My audience, I pictured in my head that they create a YouTube video. They want to make videos with their phone. So they shoot a video. They go to the app store to download an app so they could learn, edit, and they pick an app, download it, open it up, and they're like, holy cow, how do I edit? This looks really complex. And so I pictured in my head that they would go to YouTube and search for that tutorial and want to watch content on that. And so I was like, okay, I know why my viewer comes to YouTube. I'm going to create tutorials on all these video editing apps. And that's what like drove almost all my traffic from YouTube. Is I found their problem. They want to be a YouTuber, but they have a problem with editing. I created a solution to that problem, which was a video editing tutorial. And then I built off more content, and that got people to subscribe. So, and it all began with me knowing my audience and where they were coming from and why they're on YouTube in the first place. And that I think that's the key to making awesome titles and thumbnails.
Let's talk about the most important part on YouTube, your analytics. I did speak to someone who has 400,000 subscribers, and they were like, all of his videos were hitting the hundreds of thousands, millions of views, but he was talking about how his view duration wasn't high and how his the click-through rate, I'm not sure what the percentage was, but his videos kept being suggested. But he was trying to figure out why after the 20-second mark, he's losing 50% of his audience. It's like the first 30 to a minute seconds is like your selling point. What's going to keep you and your audience engaged? And as you watch through each video, you need to figure out what percentage are people watching this to the very end, understanding what parts are people dropping off. Am I getting more subscribers? Am I losing more subscribers? What is my view duration? That means how many watch hours and minutes that are accumulating. Like we had mentioned before, you need 4,000 watch hours worth of content to get monetized, along with 1,000 subscribers. And I know in the beginning, you're going to be losing subscribers, you're going to gain some subscribers, and sometimes you're going to be lost for hope. And I thought the biggest milestone for me was getting the first 100 subscribers. And then when I built my website, the traffic started coming in. But sometimes it can get discouraging. Like, why is it taking me so long? Some people are getting monetized within 3 months, 6 months, and it's just not working for me. And it's amazing seeing how some of the biggest channels have said it took them a couple years just to get monetized. They might have had the watch hours and maybe not the subscribers, or maybe the watch hours and then the subscribers came second. So everyone's path is going to be different.
Yeah, and I think paying attention to those analytics, because it'll tell you what you need to work on. Because YouTube's simplified is getting people to click, getting them to watch till the end and be satisfied, and getting them to watch another video. If you do those three things, you win. So it starts with a click. So looking at your impressions, how many people see your topic, title, and thumbnail, and then click-through rate, how many people actually click on that video after seeing those things, and then your audience retention, how long they stay watching, how well, did you hook them in the beginning? Did you tell them why they should watch till the end? What benefit is there? Are their pains going to be solved because they watch the video till the end? If you're not hooking that viewer, or you're using like a branded intro, you're not giving them value to stick around. So I usually see a lot of people make really good videos, but then they just don't hit it off right with the click-through rate and the impressions. So I usually tell people, nail that first, pick a good topic, title, and thumbnail, and then focus on that first because, I have videos that have great audience retention that never got views because I didn't get a good thumbnail and title. So it's a great video with great audience retention. It just never picked up or took off because I couldn't get people to click on it. But I think audience retention wise, yeah, you have to hook them, show them why they should watch till the end. And then I think just don't waste people's time. Just get to the content that the answers they want, even if that means it's only like a 2 or 3 minute video. I have 2 minute videos that have like 700,000 views because I gave the viewer value and they appreciated me getting right into the content and they subscribed because of it. Because there's so much content on there where people are, saying a lot in the beginning that's, not adding value. And then, YouTube's good at suggesting content and there's a lot of enticing stuff on the side or underneath the video for people to click on. So you got to make sure you're keeping them engaged and using those analytics. It'll tell you if you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I was saying YouTube is very customer service driven. Like if you're not replying to the comments, it's not going to keep people engaged. And I know on some apps like TubeBuddy and vidIQ, they tell you about your engagement rate, tell you what tags to use, what's gonna, hopefully your video matches what they're suggesting. But as you're making your tweaks and as you're watching your analytics change video to video, you're kind of getting a grasp of these are the videos that they like and these are the videos that maybe I like but they're not interested in. So maybe intertwining that, maybe doing 3 videos that they want to do and then incorporate 1 video that you have some interest in and maybe they might too. And then go back to maybe 2 or 3 videos of what they want and then back to what you want. So it feels like an even exchange. I would also like to know, I would also like to let people know that sharing people's videos that they worked hard on is a great way to market out a channel because we can't do it all of ourselves. You have more connections than we do. Sadly, we can't really connect with our audience the way that we want. So that's why it's good to have the social links attached to the YouTube channel so people can connect to you on Instagram or even on your email list. You could have a form saying, what videos were most appealing to you? What videos made you click off? Was it the thumbnail? And then have call to actions where you have people saying, what is the biggest takeaway? This is what I learned. This is a perspective that I have, and it opens up your mind a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely utilize the description and being able to connect with people on more platforms. That way you have more ways to communicate with them other than YouTube.
Now we're gonna talk about some of the pros and cons of YouTube through the realistic lens. Hence the title. Consistency is key. We can't express it more than enough. If you're not consistent, people are not gonna subscribe. People aren't gonna find you. And kind of like TikTok, if you're not posting, no one's gonna find you. And YouTube will stop suggesting your videos.
Yeah, I think the only way you're really gonna be able to grow and take your channel off is by posting content. So if you're not, sometimes my old videos on old channels still get views and whatnot, but you can't expect to grow a channel or grow a business if you're not, regularly engaging with your audience and, building community. So that consistency is definitely key, even if that means you have to schedule out videos just so that way you can take breaks. But yeah, you gotta keep putting out content. Otherwise, your audience will not stay as engaged with your content.
Mm-hmm. Let's go into burnout because that's a real factor in mental health for a lot of creators.
Yeah, it's definitely something that happens commonly. I think it at least happens once to someone in their YouTube creator journey. You get kind of consumed up into putting out videos and producing content, and then you kind of overwork yourself and it drains you. So from what I've seen, it seems like the key is just taking regular breaks. YouTube lets you schedule out content. So if you make a few videos, you can make some in advance, schedule them out so you still have your consistency maintained. Mm-hmm. But then, if I schedule out 2 or 3 videos, if I take a break, my content's still going to be uploaded every single week. And I can, relax, forget about YouTube, forget about analytics and take a break and, always come back to that later. That way the audience doesn't see that you took a break and, you can maintain your consistency.
And it also depends on how long your videos are too. I know for podcasting, it's very labor intensive. I don't think people realize how much time it goes into planning these videos, reaching out to people, making sure that they're legit. If you want to be featured on the podcast, I have a frequently asked question list on my website of how you can apply. But making sure that they have the right intentions, making sure that they can answer the questions in the format that I write out for the outline, like I had mentioned to you. Making sure that everybody has a clear vision of how the flow is going to go. So I know for me, if I want to take some time off, it's going to be a lot of pressure in that 1 week that I'm producing content just to take an extra week off. So you have to be ready for that burnout that will occur after making 2 or 3 videos.
And something you could also potentially do is maybe plan your breaks around holidays where people aren't even on YouTube, like Christmas, New Year's, that whole period of time. Probably a lot of times people are spending time with family or doing activities where if you take a break, then, no one's really on YouTube to begin with. Christmas Day, no one's watching YouTube videos. So if you can plan your break between then and be like, yeah, I'm going to be gone for the holidays, I'll see you in the new year. Your audience isn't going to miss you that much because they're already busy as is. More like around wherever you are, wherever you are in the world, I'm sure there's different holidays or events going on. And you can always, if your work is labor intensive, you can always plan breaks that way. So that way you're still getting your breaks, but you're also still trying to maintain that consistency.
I even mentioned that journaling has really helped. Getting out the house and going for a walk, getting into like my mental state of mind. I might try to do a meditation class. I might not be good at it, but I'm going to try it for the first time. But making sure that you're focused on what's going on with you mentally, because when you're experiencing burnout, it sometimes shows externally and people notice, and the production value will drop. Let's talk about time and money.
Yeah, like time wise, I grew my channel only working like 5 hours, max 10 hours a week. I was working a full-time job. I had a baby. I'm married, chores around the house. There's a lot of things to get caught up with. So I think you can get it, start a channel working only like 5 hours. If you can put more time in, that's better. But if that's all you've got, it may be a struggle to do a video once a week time wise, but maybe you can do every other week and still try to show up on a consistent basis every other week. So if that's how your time is currently working, eventually you might get to a point where it can become like a side income, and maybe you can do less hours at your regular job. That's what happened to me when I made enough income with YouTube. I was able to go part-time at my job and do both. So I'd have more time to dedicate to YouTube. And then I was able to go full-time after I saved up like enough money for like a business emergency fund. So, I have always something to fall back on if, things go wrong. We enter a Great Depression or something crazy, having that backup. So I think time-wise, you just got to really decide, yeah, I want to do YouTube, and I might have to cut some things out of my life. I might have to stop watching Netflix. I might have to stop playing video games if I really want to pursue this. So, but I don't think you need too many hours per se if you want to get started. And then maybe on the money side, just start with what you have. And as you build it up and start making money, there's things you can implement right away. Like we talked about, you can start doing those things. Once you start making more money, you can upgrade your equipment or use that money to, invest in yourself.
Definitely. And like you said, he had a plan. Don't just quit right away. And I know a lot of people are still losing their jobs, but YouTube could be a platform for you to figure out things, figure out what your interests are, be creative. Nothing is impossible with video. You can make anything lucrative. And yeah, just use all your resources that we had mentioned of monetization. Don't just solely rely on AdSense because you're not going to make it that far in a realistic
Exactly. Right.
Let's talk about one of the biggest flags that we have on YouTube, which is sub for sub. Please can you go into a little detail about that?
Yeah, it's the worst decision you could ever make because one, it's it goes against YouTube's community guides. So if they find out you're doing it, you'll get banned from YouTube itself. But also even just the science of it is people who are sub for subbing, they're just trying to get their vanity metric up. YouTube, if they see like you have these fake channels that are just subscribing to everyone, those fake ones end up getting removed anyway. So you end up losing a lot of those subscribers.
Hmm.
And those people aren't actually interested in your content and can actually hurt your analytics because maybe that is the channel they watch stuff on. If they're subscribing to you and they're not even interested in your content, they might click on your video, watch it for a few seconds and leave, which is like the worst thing possible because that'll ruin your audience retention. So, you want to grow organically. And even if it's slow at first and you may feel tempted to go out and try to do, non-organic promotion and try to build up your number count that way, just know that YouTube doesn't hold your subscriber count against you in promoting your content. We hear about those unicorn stories where someone posted only 2 videos and got to 1 million subscribers. And it was because they were making good content and it wasn't their subscriber count that was determining whether YouTube decides to share it with people or not. So
Hmm.
the number looks pretty, looks nice. I like the pretty number around my number, but it's not I wouldn't worry about sub for sub and needing it to grow your channel or needing it to monetize. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I have a friend who wants to start a YouTube channel. She was like, "Why don't you subscribe?" And I'm like, "You don't have any content on there." So YouTube is not really gonna look at those people that she had. So I had to have a conversation with her. And I sent her a video just to confirm. I'm like, "I will subscribe to your channel once you have some videos on there so you can get like a real following." Because those 900 people, YouTube's not counting that. They're going to count after the video has been posted. So just for clarification on that part, could you tell us a little bit about your course that you're offering?
Yeah. So after I hit 100,000, I took it on myself that I wanted to share my knowledge with people. So basically everything I've learned on that journey to 100,000, I've put into something called Small Creator Academy, which is literally, showing you those 3 main metrics of getting people to click, getting people to watch till the end and be satisfied, and getting them to watch another video. I go super detailed into each of those 3 categories because if you win at those, you win on YouTube. So in it, you learn how to get people to click on your videos, making thumbnails that are clickable, how to keep people engaged, and how to edit in a way that people will stay watching, and then also strategies for getting people to continue watching more of your videos and getting them to get into a playlist of your videos where they're just nonstop down a rabbit hole. So it's basically just an unload of all my knowledge, everything I've learned. I've attended like Vid Summit and other events and have soaked in knowledge from other people has helped me build my channel. And it's all there if anyone wants to consume it and hear from someone who's past 100K.
And then also, I'm offering a kind of like a course slash membership where it's built around people's experience with business. And hopefully, me and Collin will be able to work out something where we can both help each other out. Where, in the business coaching that I'm offering, you can schedule for a discovery call. And the link will be in the description along with his course. But the discovery call is to figure out if we're going to be a good fit, and also allows me to get a clear perspective of what do you need help with, what are areas that you need to improve on, what skills that you're good at, and see if we can build a roadmap for your success. These can be 3 sessions, this could be 6 sessions, this could be 12 sessions, but I'm just giving you resources that I have implemented and have researched that will help you push to the next level. And in this video, I would like to conclude with definitely put a lot of time and effort into your planning, your pitch as to how you're going to go, what the direction, work your YouTube channel. It's okay to make changes, but like I said, little micro changes could be big changes for your audience. So understanding what are your content pillars, what 3 different ways do you want to target people, whether it's making vlogs, how-to videos, or a day in the life of what you're interested in. Let people get the opportunity to learn who you are on a personal level. Keep your professional limit up there so people don't walk on you, and be cautious of what you share because people will use it against you, because this is social media. And build a connection with your audience. Every day is a learning experience. Don't focus too much on the numbers, just grow organically, like we had mentioned. He tried multiple channels. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. But he believed that one day he'll be able to, Collin believed that one day that he would be able to work full-time on YouTube. And he's actually implementing that. And he's taking time to help coach you guys to take your channel to the next level. You might not have growth in the beginning, but the more practice that you put into it, the better that you'll be. How can people find you on social media?
Yeah, on YouTube, you can find me at Collin Micheal, or if you visit collinmicheal.com, I've got like my links and resources where you can find me everywhere you need to.
Thank you. And I would like to close out with my social links as well. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, BPerryFilms, and I have my website, www.BPerryFilms.com. Subscribe to my email list, and definitely check out my blog where I go further in depth on topics that we discuss on the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.